Hello everybody, Kane here today with an episode of, the Jurassic World Reborn building mod thing. And if you notice what that little moving thing is, that's actually a baby Protoceratops because there were 3 billion of them and I don't know how they got out, but they got out. I actually have continuously went back and been checking that exhibit and yeah, no, I don't know how they're escaping. They just are. Maybe it's just the sheer number of baby Protoceratops there are that's just, I don't know, maybe they're breaking the fabric of the time-space reality and just escaping. Who knows? But anyway, today we are building a Carnotaurus Exhibit because that was highly requested and suggested, and yeah, well, why not? Also, you're gonna notice something, and that is, in both this and the actual, tour of the exhibit, there's pathways between all 3 builds. So, yeah. There might, I'm not 100% confirming this, but I might do more of these and try and make a bit of a zoo. I'm not committing to a whole zoo. I'm not even committing necessarily to putting all the animals in it, but I'll do some more exhibits and maybe make a tiny bit of a zoo. At any rate, one other thing that's changed since the last video was I've added in, what is it called? Dynamic trees and biomes aplenty. Just to give myself a few more options when it comes to like texturing and stuff like that. And the other big thing is, for those of you who haven't watched Wildlife Park, I actually learned how to use the world edit commands, finally. Oh, and there's me messing up the dirt. Because, I mean, it's me messing around with the mods I use. Of course I was gonna mess that up. It actually kind of helped. Actually, it did actually somewhat help in the long run. It kind of made a bit of the terraforming I was doing a bit easier. But anyway, yeah, I finally figured out how to do those commands, which makes making the ground textures and the rock textures way easier, and really allows me to just spend more time actually building the exhibits, which is, well, the goal. And what I would like to spend more time doing anyway, so that's always good. Yeah, anyway, the idea for the Carnotaurus exhibit kind of came, well, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for this, and I wasn't entirely sure in all honesty. I didn't want to do, I don't know, it was kind of weird. I didn't want to do exactly what we had just done, even though I guess it kind of is like the last exhibit we built, since, you know, actually like all the exhibits we've built so far where it's viewing windows instead of like, you know, just looking through a fence or just peering down into an exhibit. Although I do think this one has enough differences in its own individual character that it really stands out. I really like the look of the Ceratosaurus exhibit. I think overall it's probably my favorite one. The Protoceratops one needs an upgrade, but that's also because the Protoceratopses themselves keep destroying the exhibit, so I need to fix that out and figure out what to do there. But like there were a couple issues with the Rugops exhibit that are actually more fixed now because, well, I don't actually finish the exhibit in this time lapse. I went back and like added more stuff to it, and I think that's what I'm going to be doing for more of these videos. I'm going to build the majority of the exhibit, try and get the animal in, and then I'll throw in the rest of the details to like the viewing area and all that kind of stuff in later. But yeah, overall I think this looks really cool. I did try to use the Jurassic, or the modded Jurassic Park fences today, and I mean, they're not bad. I'll say that first. They're not bad fences. I just, I don't know, I have difficulty building the fences I like to build with them. It very much feels like they are meant to be on a flat terrain. They are not meant to go up hills, they're not meant to, you know, go up blocks, they're not meant to really do lots of crazy curves and turns and angles and all that. They're kind of just meant to be straight lines, 90-degree angle, that kind of stuff, on like flat terrain. So they still look cool, and I did decide to use them because, well, we've done how many videos now on this mod, and I still haven't really used these for an exhibit, so figured it was probably about time we do that. But yeah, it ended up looking pretty cool regardless. There's a little bit of a weird thing with the fencing, but whatever. At the end of the day, it looks alright, and I threw in enough trees in that area that you shouldn't really notice it. But yeah, overall looks really cool. The terrain I went for with this build is meant to be a bit of a, well, because I did some research into what kind of environment they think Carnotaurus lived in, and most of what I was reading said something like coastal plains and estuaries and coastlines and stuff like that. particularly seeing lots of open space, because since it's an animal that's supposed to be sprinting pretty quickly, it's not an animal that's going to be living in a densely, forested area. Like you don't see cheetahs living in forests, you see them living in open savannas where they can really get up to speed. So yeah. That's what I was reading. I might have kind of made it a bit too arid, I think. We'll kind of, I think it ends up looking really good, so who knows? Who really cares? At the end of the day, it's just up to my imagination and what I felt looked cool. But yeah, anyway, I did actually solve my issue from last episode where I couldn't use these because I couldn't integrate them all that well into the wall. I basically just enveloped the last pylon in rock on both sides to keep the dinosaurs from being able to escape, but also keeping it cool looking and actually getting the wires connected up and all that nonsense. But yeah, I do actually, and you guys will see this, it doesn't happen in the time lapse, but I did actually, because I feel like someone's going to suggest it before, they watch the whole episode through. I did actually bring the raised pathway from the Rugops exhibit all the way over to here, so that is actually now connected up. I haven't added in the rest of the rock walls over there at this point though, because, well, I might throw one more dinosaur over in this area, and I figured that'd be a great place to throw it in. So yeah, anyway, pretty fun to build these rock walls, actually. It's a lot more fun to build the rock wall knowing I can make it a bit more extravagant because I don't have to go back and do all the detailing myself. I can just let the world edit stuff do it. So that's actually really nice. So thank you for people constantly telling me to start learning all the commands. It has been very nice figuring them all out. And that's actually, I think, what I'm doing there is trying to get all the commands done. I didn't actually realize that you're gonna see here in a second, I was like, oh wait, what went wrong? And then I realized, oh, I didn't include enough height in the command. And there we go, there's all the rock. Unfortunately, and I keep forgetting this, andesite is considered a stone block variant, which means andesite just kind of gets removed, which is really annoying, but it's like, whatever, what can you do about it, really? So there I am adding it all back in again, which was it was pretty easy, but it was also annoying that I had to do that kind of thing at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, even here, before we even do anything, it still looks really cool. I'm really happy with the overall shape of this exhibit, and this was the first build where I got it right. Because, I've mentioned in the last few videos, I just haven't figured out the spacing, really, and how much space the exhibits need because of how big the dinosaurs are and all that. This is the first one where I think I really got the spacing correct and I really got the scale correct to really fit with the dinosaurs, and I think it looks pretty good overall. I think right now I'm putting in the command to change up the dirt texture. I think. Oh, yep, there we go. That's the first layer, and then, yep, there we go. And again, so much faster, looks just as good as if I had done it by hand. I think in the future though, I might remove the cobblestone from it and just kind of make it a bit less stony. Although I felt like that kind of played a bit more into the coastal idea. I don't know. It looks a lot better when I started throwing in the bushes, the trees, and all the grasses and stuff. Which is actually one reason why I added biomes of plenty in, not for trees or anything, but because I wanted the barley, because I love using that as a field block or a more of a dry grass, because it looks amazing. But yeah, just gonna be throwing in a lot more grass and some trees, but yeah. Actually, I forgot to throw the Carnotaurus in, so you're not gonna see it till we do the tour. But I'm gonna let the rest of the time let's play out, and I'll be back up with you guys for the tour. All right, everyone, here we are to show off the final build. Now, it's changed a little bit since the time lapse. I basically just came back in once I finished that and added in a little bit more detail, adding some roofs to the little viewing areas, some extra trees, decorating all this up. And actually adding in the Carnotaurus because I completely forgot to spawn them in during the time lapse. I don't know how I forgot that, but I completely did. And I don't think I realized this, but they must be nocturnal. Yeah, I didn't realize that, so yeah. But I really like this build overall. I think it's turned out pretty cool. Yeah, it's just kind of an interesting little thing. I think I'm sure I mentioned this already, but I tried to base this off of because the Carnotaurus is from Argentina, I believe, and the area they found it in, they think, was some sort of like coastal like grasslands, coastal plains kind of thing. So I don't know. I thought this kind of gave that idea. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit too arid. Who knows? But I rather like the overall look of it. I think it turned out really well, really interesting, and you know, different than that and that. So yeah. Now I actually want to see. I think if I just like nudge them a bit, they might wake up. So, oh yep, there they go. Yeah, they're super well animated. They look really cool. Maybe if I give them like what was it called? Like a goat. Maybe if we give them a goat, they'll like hunt it. Let's see. Oh, yep, they will. And they'll eat them. Well, that's cool. Anyway, aside from that, like I said, I got some shades up on the awnings, which I think looks, or some shades up on the awnings, some awnings up on the viewing areas. That's what I meant to say. I can't really speak English right now, apparently. But yeah, you got, even with the iron bars, you still got a really good view into the build. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And yeah, I did start one last thing, and that is bringing over the pathway from the Rugops exhibit all the way back in here. So maybe we'll throw another animal around over here, and it'll just be viewable from this path, and I might build like a little observation area over here, because I think that'll look really cool. Anyway, I think that's about all I have for today, so thank you all for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed, and until next time, guys, see ya.